the young man that could change anything and everything, and we can jump to him. Apparently the game doesn't want me to. So even though I ended on a cliffhanger, we're gonna continue just like that. I can't jump to Achi for some reason. I guess I have to finish this segment first? I don't know. Let's see what happens. It's still pretty tense. It's a keep out, okay. I could have gone this far last time, but... well, whatever. So can we jump now, or do I have to do Osawa first? Why didn't it want me to jump? What's going on here? Game, tell me. I'm gonna try again immediately, because I want to resolve this whole situation, to be honest. The jump is grayed out, so I guess we can't. Let's see, let's see again. Just take a look. Otherwise we might have to do Osawa first. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like we have to do Osawa first. Great. Right as things were picking up. We're going back to Osawa, who hasn't done anything for the past hour apparently. To save Maria. The rain won't let up. The sound is growing louder and louder inside my head. It is the sound of regret spattering against my heart. My emotions surge like a terrible storm within me. I never wished for this. I never expected my heart to be dragged so far beyond my control. We can't save Maria. We can't save Maria. We can't save Maria. The words stormed through Osawa's mind in a relentless cacophony. He'd called up images of the bodies from the human testing trials on his computer monitor. He couldn't help but imagine his daughter in the same gruesome state. In just a few more hours, Maria would begin hemorrhaging blood and die just like the people in these pictures had. We can't save Maria. We can't save Maria. We can't save Maria. He couldn't shake the words or the reality from his mind. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it! Osawa began pounding his fists fiercely onto the desk. Sir, what are you doing? Kajiwara tried to intervene, but he kept on pounding away. That's got to hurt. Maybe he's calming down now, I don't know. When he finally ceased, the pain of the repeated impacts lingered in his hands. My research was never about any sincere desire to help people. And now I'm paying the price for that. The one time it finally matters, I can't even save my own daughter. Mr. Osawa, Kajiwara set a hand on his shoulder. You can always blame yourself later. But for now, think again, put in hard. Is there really no other way to save Maria? Nothing else we could try? Osawa shook his head. The only means we had left was using Tanaka's password to unlock the doors. And now Tanaka is dead. There's no other way. Is there a possibility that Mr. Tanaka told someone else his password? This was something Osawa hadn't considered. Was there anyone Tanaka might have shared his password with? Your wife! Because he was shagging her behind your back. Only one person came to mind. Well, yes. There may be someone. You're referring to Aisa? Kajiwara cast his eyes down. You figured it out then? Yes. Back during the commotion over that listening device. A necktie clip isn't typically the sort of present one gives to one husband's co-worker. And yet, although some might consider it somewhat, inappropriate, Mr. Tanaka was wearing it as if it were a matter of course. Which, implies something about the relationship. Aw, damn it. Kajiwara understood immediately, but he also knows how much it hurts to lose the one. You're married to her, I guess? Because Osawa doesn't really love her, I think. Kajiwara's voice trailed off. He coughed apologetically and tried again. I realize it's an awkward situation, sir, but please check with your wife. Even if I does happen to know the password, it does us no good if Maria gets quarantined someplace we can't reach her. I understand, Mr. Osawa. I'll bring Maria to you then. I'll do everything in my power to make that happen. Here, have some bananas. The detective then produced a bunch of bananas from his pocket. How does he fit that many in there? These are all left over. You're more than welcome to them, sir. Despite his gentle smile, the rest of his face was firm with resolve. You said you didn't care whether other people understood you, didn't you, Mr. Ozawa? Ozawa nodded guardedly. At the risk of being presumptuous, sir, I understand you, Kajiwara said. I used to be quite a workaholic myself. You're just like me, innocent and awkward. On another occasion, Kajiwara was shocked to run into a man who looked just like him. The fellow was a stylist at a hair salon Kajiwara visits on occasion. He let out a gasp of surprise of his own upon seeing the detective. Kajiwara felt a peculiar connection and was expecting to go to the salon regularly. Sorry, there's a typo there. But when the stylist asked what he did for a living, and Kajiwara answered honestly that he was a detective, the other man's face went pale, and he bolted out of the building. Kajiwara never saw the man again after that. What is that about? I don't get it. What? Is this some reference or something I am not getting? Calling yourself innocent, huh? How modest of you. Ozawa let out a sardonic chuckle, and after a moment Kajiwara joined in. Next time I see you, Mr. Ozawa, I'll have Maria with me. The detective gave a slight bow, then left the study, a look of determination on his face. We have to help Kajiwara. I hope you know that. Ozawa watched him go with admiration. No matter what trouble arose, the man always looked for something he could do. He really was a fellow who knew how to hang tough? Hang on? I don't know. Compared to that, Ozawa couldn't even articulate his own self-disgust. Embarrassing? Shameful? A piece of shit? I can help you with that. And asking Ai about the password would also mean inquiring into her relationship with Tanaka. The prospect was daunting. Venturing into the emotional territory of another person was his weakest suit. Oh god, this is gonna be a shitty episode. He left the study, but somehow found himself making his way to Maria's room, not Ai's. He realized that he hadn't been into his daughter's room since a certain rainy day years before. Oh yeah, let's snoop around in there, shall we? Now he stepped quietly inside and saw Maria's world laid out before him. A small photo was set atop her neat and tidy desk. It was a close-up of someone's hands doing a cat's cradle. Whose hands were they? From the skin tone, they didn't appear to be Maria's. Who the fuck is this? Several more photographs were pinned to a corkboard that hung on the wall. They were snapshots of people and townscapes from the Middle East. What if Maria is some fucking sleeper agent, seriously? One glance at them and Ozawa felt like he was back there for a moment. The images weren't necessarily aesthetically pleasing, but they all looked like they'd been taken by a professional. When he spotted the last photo on the corkboard, however, he was certain that Maria had taken them all. That's kinda cute. The last picture was of Ozawa himself. He was facing the camera, holding some luggage and flashing an awkward smile. It was a comical, affectionate image. Damn, that's some pretty nice cameras. He'd never known that photography was one of his daughter's hobbies. No, this went beyond a mere hobby. Did she perhaps aspire to be a professional photographer one day? She certainly had the aptitude for it, from the looks of things. Maria, a photographer. As he mulled the idea over, Ozawa felt his chest tighten. Right now, it looked like Maria's hopes and dreams were about to be snuffed out. Because Ozawa is doing some other shit instead of helping. Her future consisted of bleeding to death a few short hours from now. Doesn't sound nice, to be honest. Ozawa stared vacantly out the window. Yeah, that's better, right? Instead of helping her, just stare out of the fucking window. The view from Maria's room remained unchanged from so long ago. Again, that rainy day crept back into his mind, as vivid as the present. Flashback time, yet again. Because that's what this time block is all about. It's all about flashbacks. On that day, Ozawa was dealing with some pressing business from work. He'd ensconced himself in his study, wrestling with some paperwork, when Hitomi barged in, looking distraught. Maria's gone. Sensing that Hitomi was legitimately alarmed, Ozawa hurried to Maria's room. He found a letter she'd left atop her writing desk. Dad, you only care about Hitomi. You're always working and never do anything with me, so I'm running away. Bye. A few hours earlier, he'd cancelled a weekend trip to the amusement park. He just wasn't going to be able to get his work done in time. Hitomi had resigned herself readily enough, but Maria just couldn't accept it. She'd been looking forward to it for so long, she railed at him. How many times now had he broken one of his promises to her? Hitomi understands why we can't... Who is saying this now? Hitomi understands why we can't go. So why can't you do the same? The cold rebuke had ended her complaining, but it was clear she still didn't accept the situation. Now, Hitomi helped them look around, but they found nothing missing from Maria's room. Despite her assertion that she was running away then, it seemed like there was no point in being overly concerned. Maybe she's at a park she always goes to? Hitomi looked worried. The park was roughly a 25-minute walk from the house. That's quite a lot, considering it's a park she always goes to. Isn't there one close? Seriously. It would only take about an hour for Osawa to go get her and bring her home. But an hour was more than he could afford to spare right now. Are you serious? Wow. Your daughter has run away, man. Dad, I think she's waiting for you to go after her. Osawa didn't need Hitomi to tell him that. He knew it well enough. That was what galled him so much about the situation. Why did she have to pull something like this precisely when his work was at its busiest? He'd done everything he could as a father since his wife had passed away. Honestly, Daisuke is doing it better than you. Why couldn't his daughter see that? It's alright. It's alright. Your sister will come back. The rain was coming down pretty hard outside the window. She's outside there while the rain is coming down, okay? Do you think she brought an umbrella? Hitomi asked anxiously. I don't know, but with the rain like this, she'll come back home soon enough. He spoke the words for himself as much as for Hitomi. Then he headed back to his study and got back to work. Fucking cunt, seriously. But several hours went by and still Maria did not return. The rain had gotten even more intense, to the point where Osawa could hear it in his... Pardon me. Well, to the point where Osawa could hear it in his study. He was so concerned about his missing girl that he couldn't focus on his work. Oh, you don't say? But he stubbornly refused to give in to go search for her. He is legitimately the dumbest person in this goddamn game, and that's saying a lot, considering how dumb a Chi can be sometimes. Several more hours passed. At last, Maria appeared at the front door soaking wet. Osawa met her silently in the entryway. Wet strands of hair clung to the girl's forehead as she looked up at her father with a bitter glare. You don't care what happens to me, do you? Immediately, Osawa smacked her across the cheek with the flat of his hand. It was the first time in his life he'd ever struck anyone. He hadn't known such a violent impulse could exist inside him. Maria stood there, her hand pressed to her cheek. Tears welled up in her eyes. She began to tremble. On her lip was a small bead of blood. Damn it, dude! How hard did you hit her? A flood of guilt and regret rose up inside Osawa as if he'd just shattered some intricate piece of glasswork. Because you did! How? How could I do such a thing? He clenched his shameful hand into a fist. And in that moment, he was afraid of Maria. Afraid that his daughter could bring such raw emotion out of him and make him do something so thoughtless. But even more, he was afraid of how stunted he was as a human being. Was someone like him really fit to be a parent? What kind of future could Maria and Hitomi hope for with a father like him? Supermodels? I don't know. That was why he'd married Ai as Makino had proposed. Having a mother, he decided, would help keep his family together despite their sad excuse for a father. Oh, son, you were so wrong. But in so doing, Osawa had dug a psychological ditch between himself and his daughters. A deep ditch, so that he could keep his daughters from being hurt. So that he wouldn't hurt himself. I'm a fucking dum-dum, he says in sudden realization. Now Osawa was staring across the ditch, wondering if it was too wide to leap. He thought back to his earlier exchange with Kachibana. If you get angry, you show it. If you get sad, you show it. It's human nature to let other people know how we are feeling after all. What if doing that hurts the other person? That's when you apologize, sir. Okay, I got it. Can we stop dragging this on now? Can he finally go to Ai and ask her about the password? Because, frankly, this is going on way too long. Yes, that was right. He needed to apologize to Maria for what he'd done that day. It still wasn't too late. It's never too late. When it comes to family, there's no such thing as game over. That's what Rumi's father wrote. He recalled Pretty Honey's words. He needed to apologize to Maria, and so he needed to ask Ai for that password. Let's go, let's go. Finally, Osawa. You big dummy dum-dum. Damn, dude, what's wrong with your trousers? They look weird. Osawa was going to have to face his wife. Oh man, I don't envy you. That's horrible. Keep out. I guess another perfect way to end the episode. Wait a second, if this is a keep out now, did this unlock? What? What? Okay, give me a second. There's a jump here. Emergency editing meeting. It's a jump to Osawa. Okay, so we can continue with Osawa, I guess. Where is it? Here. Okay, yeah, okay. We'll do that next time though. Let's take a look. Is this jump? It's still grayed out, so we have to clear Osawa first, I guess. Whatever. Whatever. And what the fuck is wrong with Maria? Why did it end? Just because she remembered everything? I want her as a protagonist still. So, next time, we continue with Osawa. Bye.